Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhidamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. If Shraddha is not needed after self-realization, then is meditation practice needed daily? Do Swamis also have a daily meditation ritual? Shraddha is a working faith. There are two types of faith. One is a faith which is a total belief, like there is a heaven. Or you listen to this Shastra, gives punyam, is faith. It's a total belief. But then there is a faith which is a working faith. It is nothing but an openness till you discover something. Like you buy a book. When you buy a book, definitely you have a faith that I will get some relevant information from that, necessary, it will be useful to me, etc. It's a working faith. Once you read that book, now the faith is not needed. Could you follow? Once you read that book, faith is not needed. When you go to sleep, I will get up in the morning. It's a working faith. When you get up in the morning, then that faith is not needed. I'm not saying faith is not, you should not have faith. Faith is not required. It's a working faith. That's what I meant it, actually. Working faith is like this. Once the thing is accomplished, then it is over. And meditation practice also a part of it. Self-realization means actually it's a immediate knowledge. Realization is not an experience also. Because it's a question of the one who is seeing me right now is Brahman. So then it is not a question of experiencing yourself. You cannot go out of the experience of yourself. You are all the time in any experience, you are always there. But in that experience of seeing, hearing, touching, talking, walking, eating, in all experiences, there is Brahman only. There is one thing. That I don't know. Yeah. So that is a thing. So basically, it's not, we are not interested here in a new experience. We are interested in recognizing the one vastu, the one reality present in all experiences. In a seeing, experience of seeing, it is one whole. The very seer is non-separate from Brahman. The object of sight is non-separate from Brahman. The very seeing is non-separate from Brahman. It means consciousness. Therefore it is whole. Could you follow? So in a given experience, well, Vedanta helps in our day-to-day experiences only and make us recognize the truth of all experiences. So it's not a question of realizing something, or it is not a question of a new experience also. It's a recognition of the truth in any given experience. Yeah. Only problem arises because, sometimes they write a anubhava for this realization. Even there is a book also, our Anubhuti Prakasha by Vidyaranya Swami. So like that, so on word Anubhava, sometimes they use it also for realizing Sakshatkara, etc. They use. So when Anubhava comes, we feel that we have to wait now for Anubhava of Brahman, which will give moksha. Anubhava means a immediate knowledge. The Vedanta talks about a knowledge of a thing which is immediate, which is self. Self is immediate. There is nothing nearer than the self, right? There is nothing nearer than the self. Self is the only immediate vastu. Even to the extent that self basically is not, you need not have to use even a pramana, any means of knowledge for the self. Means you are there, I know I am there, for that you don't use any means of knowledge. So even that much distance also is not there. You are right there and I am here, right? And in order to know you, I have to use means of knowledge. So then it is not immediate. So we say direct, of course. There are certain things which are not within the scope of the sensory organs. We say it is indirect knowledge we can get, inference, etc. But there is one thing which is immediate, which is there in a direct knowledge, which is there in a indirect knowledge also. And that is you. So, the knowledge of that I is called immediate knowledge, which is called realization, sakshatkara, or which is called anubhava. Anubhava generally of a thing which is other than you. Anubhava of any object. Here we talk about the self, the subject. And therefore there is no question of a special anubhava, etc. We never talk about some special anubhava, special experience, etc. No. Anyway, so yes, meditation is required and it is a part of knowing this, gaining clarity that I am Brahman. So just today we discussed, that's fine, everybody understood perhaps, I hope everybody understood. But at the same time, tomorrow it will just vanish, right? It may go. This will happen. And so therefore, it is required that you basically do something by which the teaching basically remains fresh in your mind so that you can assimilate. And for that meditation is required. So meditation, definitely you need a Shraddha. But once you know I am Brahman, now that Shraddha, etc. has served the purpose. So therefore it is, as I just told you, once you read a book, you bought a book with a faith that some relevant information, what I want, is there. And you read the book. Now you said, keep Shraddha in that. Keep Shraddha, working faith in the book. It is not required. It's accomplished now. That kind of a thing. So our Shraddha is like this. And I will talk about it further because there is a big question here. That also I will talk about it. Is there such a thing, an evil in the world? If not, how does one account for atrocities committed both at the individual and collective level? We all the time talk everything is Satchidananda, Satchidananda. So then what is this? The concept of evil has been from Abrahamic religions. We don't have that concept. And the Christians, we feel the Christians have that setup. A evil force versus a divine force. But really Christians have also borrowed. Christians have borrowed from the Judaism. And Judaism has borrowed from the Zoroastrians, even that is a much older religion. That Ashok-Zarathustra was established this religion. Parsi religion, Parsi we call in India actually. There it was a Persian, So, he in fact had an intuition that there are two forces and which wants to capture this soul. One is a divine force. They called, I think, Ahura Mazda or something. Ahura Mazda. And that force, that God, is a God of light, force of light. Versus, there is a god of darkness. Ariman or something. Ariman, yeah, Ariman. There is the Ariman, another force, which is a dark force. And always they have perceptually they are fighting with each other to capture the soul. Everyone wants to capture. Evil force wants to capture, and divine force wants to capture, something like that. And from there it has come to Judaism, from there it has come to Christianity. Anyway, but what we say regarding evil, there is no evil person. But still we call evil, some person evil, suppose, because it is related to the free will. The person has abused the free will. That's called evil. Abuse the free will. So, because, and why he abused the free will? Because will is free. So you can abuse or use either. That is the only answer. Why he has abused the free will? Because it is free. If it is free, if it is free, you can use it or you can abuse it. But anyway, so this is how a abuse of free will we consider as by which a person does something wrong. In a vision of a Vedanta, when everything is Ishvara, where is evil? Right? Then the evil could be the ignorance of the fact that everything is Ishvara. That is evil. Because that ignorance creates a division. That I am different, world is different, Ishvara is different. Right? If you are not ignorant of this fact that everything is Ishvara, then what would be your vision? Everything is different. And when everything is different, well, I am a helpless creature. And definitely I have certain desires because I feel limitations, lack. And to fulfill desire, there will be a desire to fulfill. There are likes and dislikes. And then other things are also will be there. There will be fear, jealousy, everything will be there. This is all evil. This is all evil. There is no other evil. So basically, if you want to call, even free will is not evil, but the ignorance, we can say. That's how original sin they say. But our ignorance, you can say, ignorance of the fact that everything, the observer and observed, everything is just one thing alone. There is nothing different. They are not different from each other. Then definitely that Dvaita Buddhi will not be there. Then there definitely, this evil also will not be there. Second thing is, how does one account for atrocities committed both at the individual and collective level? That's true. So there is an individual ego which commits a certain crime, abusing the free will. And then there is a collective ego also. And that collective ego means people get together and pursue a certain thing. Like there was a murderer of a policeman. Some person murdered the policeman. Then the entire police force, together had a one pursuit to catch this murderer and punish him. So it's a collective ego. Here it is a use. I would not say it is an abuse, but it is a collective ego is there. So all corporate ego, this ego, all collective ego. All females join together for certain cause, freedom. Certain freedom in a society, etc. It's all collective ego. And collective ego, like an individual ego, can also use the free will or abuse the free will. There are mass murderers. Mass murderers are there. Means a group of people go and kill a lot of people. So it's abuse of free will. But Swamiji, abuse of free will we should not say, because that person who was murdered, his karma is there. So his karma was such that he should be murdered. So this person has actually helped him to get murdered. That is not a criteria. You should not bring karma here. It's a pure case of abuse of a free will. Anyway, this is just by the way. So there is no evil other than ignorance. Ignorance born notions, a sense of individuality, duality, etc. And from there arises all issues, all other kama, krodha, lobha, etc. That's the only evil we can say. Aham Brahmasmi, how to make theoretical understanding stick. It's not theoretical, I already told you. Theoretical means it is written theoretical, somebody writes intellectual understanding. And we want to actualize, we want to make into practice, etc. You are not intellectual means intellectual means what is inferential is called intellectual. You use intellect for what? Inferring, ultimately, right? If you don't use your sensory perception, etc., and you arrive at certain conclusion just by using intellect, means it is all inferential. But you are not inferential. You need not be. You are a person who is basically called by the first person. I mean singular. You are first person, and therefore you are not inferential. You are not even a object of direct perception also. You are yourself as a subject, and therefore there is nothing theoretical, etc. here. And I explained you, well, it is not available for experience, etc. So here it is not theoretical understanding how it will stick, etc. It is a matter of a clarity. Just, in fact, really speaking, self-knowledge is nothing but the ignorance and the ignorance-born notions going away is called self-knowledge, really speaking. That's only knowledge. So in light of this understanding what we are doing, the ignorance about the self and the notions, etc., which are born of that, will slowly go away. Like the clouds go away and the sun which was already there shines. Sun which was not shining before, not that sun was brought, sun was there, but clouds were covering it. So clouds slowly go away. Same way here, ignorance and ignorance-born notions go away. Self is ever shining, self-revealing. So then, well, so one understands oneself as a Brahman. So that is the only thing to be understood. How do you deal with people, expectations? Well, I think we did this. If loved ones, how do we deal with the situation maybe? If loved ones, family avoid you. Well, we have to reach out to this our loved ones and well, try to understand their perspective. What can we do? Or a certain discussion in which definitely they and you both want to understand the mutual perspective. That's the only way. In that communication, well, definitely, as I told you, never use this that, well, you people are avoiding us. Never do that job. It becomes very offensive. You know, when you address like this, that you basically are avoiding us. We love you, but you are avoiding us. Then communication will stop. We feel that we have been avoided. You may not be doing it, but we feel that we have been avoided. Like I told you the example of Arjuna. You know, so that is how we have to do. Then only the communication will remain. Otherwise, it will go away. So that's what I can say in here. Means addressing directly to them, but in a gentle manner, like that, so that slowly, hopefully, it will resolve. Perhaps sometime what happens is not that they have certain hatred towards you, but they are preoccupied with their career and other things. And in that, there are so many conflicts going on. And therefore, outwardly, it looks that they are avoiding us. But really speaking, it is not so. But all these things, issues will be resolved when you try to know their perspective, etc., or they try to understand your perspective. That's a thing. Swamiji, you said that Atma is neither inside you nor outside you. Can you please clarify? Now I think it is clear, right? It is clear. Atma is Atma. It's not question. Atma is everything, all pervasive. There is question of inside and outside. What is outside is not inside. What is inside is not outside. So then either way it is limited. Either way it is limited. What is outside means it is not inside, limited. What is inside, not outside, limited. It's limitless Brahman. That is you. So there is no question of now I. I is the only thing. I is the only thing which is not outside, inside. And the world is something which is inside, outside. Yeah, there is an inner world also. And there is outer world also. Inner world we have. We don't need an external world for conflicts. We have enough inside. So, people say, well, we have so many lots of conflicts with the people and all around. So we want to avoid everyone. Then still there are a lot. We carry forward so much. That's called unconscious. Carry forward. All unconscious one has to deal with. So far as you remain busy, so much busy, your conscious mind is very much engaged, then this unconscious will not surface. But once you come to such a place and you get certain peace, etc. and all, conscious mind is become peaceful, then unconscious will start. You don't know what you said. People suddenly start crying. People suddenly feeling some kind of an uneasiness. All kinds of things are happening. Yeah. All these things are there. Anyway, but so, what is inside? There is a big world inside. Either in terms of gross world, also inside. Heart and kidneys and all is inside world. It's also object. And in terms of mind, which is another world. My God. That's what we create in dream. So all dream, the material of the whole dream world comes from here. Nothing from outside. Anyway. Has science not found such an energy? Atma is energy, no. Energy is something which they say it is convertible to matter. And therefore we are talking about consciousness, which is altogether a different category. It's not a question of an energy. It's not a new form of energy. How are we supposed to understand it scientifically? No, this consciousness is not available for inquiry, scientific inquiry. Definitely not. Majority of the prominent scientists now, they are saying consciousness is something which is a independent thing. We thought it's a product of a brain, etc., matter, etc., or a property of the matter, or a part of matter, brain, etc. No. Most of the prominent scientists say this consciousness is something independent thing. There are prominent group of scientists, they are saying now, this world, which is matter, we feel it is not a inert thing or a matter. The whole thing is a conscious thing. Now they are saying like this. So, science could not say anything in this. They are trying, of course, but they know that this is something which is distinct from matter, etc. Can you please explain again? Atma is not internal, external. So again, next question. Why does one have the feeling of shame? It is coming from the subconscious conditioned mind. How to deal with it in the moment when it arises? Anyway, shame. I think shame often results from maybe from a sense of failing to follow certain standards. There are certain family standards, family values. In society there are certain standards. Cultural standards are all there. When you fail to meet with those standards, you have a shame. Yeah, I think so. This is how I define. Maybe another definition will be there. And how to get rid of it? First thing is that you should not blame yourself, even if you are not able to cope up with those standards. Don't blame yourself. Generally, we say that I am a bad person because I could not meet with those standards, etc. So we should definitely evaluate the situation, but we should not judge ourselves as a bad or something. And there should be a self-compassion, etc. That's what I can say. I don't know what further things should be said in order to get rid of shame, etc. It's quite different from the hurt. Yeah. Shame is quite different from the hurt. In hurt, basically, the other person has done something in her behavior because of which I feel hurt. Shame is something in which you are not able to cope up with, or you are not able to meet with the certain standards for which you also have a value. And because all these standards it is part of a subconscious. That's nice. The person has written here. It is coming from the subconscious conditional mind. But that's true. It's a part of subconscious, and so it's like in your personality. That is how you feel shame. So, we discussed that day that value for money. It is not an overnight mistake I did suddenly that, I should have a value for money, etc. Or money has a certain value. If I don't have money, I will not have a place in society. People will not respect me, etc. Is a part of subconscious. It is not a one-day mistake. Some morning I got this kind of idea. No. Because one is brought up in a society from the childhood itself, right? The value of money is known to us. So it's a subconscious. Same with this also. You are brought up in a certain society, culture, etc. Even religiously also, one person may feel shame. It is generally in our culture is means the person, should take bath, especially after, removing the impurities from the body, etc. One should take bath or something. And you have been brought up in a family also, culture, religion, etc. Otherwise, you have developed this value from the childhood, suppose. And for some reason, you are not doing that. You feel shame. Yeah, you feel shame about it. That I was doing it, now I am not able to follow it. So hurt and this shame are quite different. Guilt is something in which we do, which we commit certain mistake in a given action. Shame is something which arises when we can't meet with a certain standards. Need not be some action we have already done. Somehow we are not able to meet with certain standards, which is there which is a part of the subconscious. So this is what my answer is. Okay, Swamiji, what part does Ishvara play in the vision of Vedanta? Is an acceptance of Ishvara necessary, or can he be dismissed as simply a belief which one may or may not accept as true? Very big question. Yes. So two things are there now. Let us first discuss Ishvara is rejected. Ishvara is not accepted, rejected, negated. What is that situation? Today's situation. What we discussed in last 3 classes. No, you haven't found a word Ishvara, right? Ishvara is rejected. Means what? When you take a situation of observer and observed, both stem from one reality and therefore both of them are mithya. In that case, what is observed, the creation is mithya. The observer also is mithya. Both have a reality in what? Consciousness. Right? That's what we say. No, Swamiji, you didn't say that. You said knower and object of knowledge. Jagat. Same thing. Knower resolved where? I told you, look, there is a hearer. When? There is a sound. Jagat. So when there is a Jagat, sound, objects of knowledge, objects of hearing, then hearer also. Right? Both of them resolved where? We did. Where it resolved? Consciousness. Both really arise from consciousness, non-separate from consciousness, because hearing is non-separate from consciousness. Hearer is non-separate from consciousness. The sound also is non-separate from consciousness. In that case, basically, you have arrived at one reality called consciousness. The whole creation, the Jagat, observed, is become mithya. Right? Become mithya. When Jagat itself is mithya, there is no need of Ishvara. That's how we don't discuss. We haven't mentioned word Ishvara also. So this is one situation. The other situation will be reverse of this. The observed, observer, and very process of observing, all are reality. All are reality. We don't go further into the truth of all the three, or all truth of both, let us say, observer and observed. You don't go into the process, you don't analyze what's the nature of both. Then, both become real. In that case, the observer is a helpless entity, the jiva. And also, observer is a non-participatory factor in the creation. Why? Swamiji, I participate. Everything is given. Everything is given to you. This observed creation is given to you. To observe, senses are given to you. Not only senses, you need a mind given to you. Intellect given to you to decide what you are observing. Everything is given. So, what you observe, that is not created by you. That's not created by you. Even if your mind creates certain things, it creates. Right? It creates something. Over and above what is there, you create. But that possibility of such a creation also is given to you. And you create through your mind, that mind is given to you. And therefore, ultimately, everything is given to you. In that case, I am saying the observer has no role to play here. It's all given. And what is given is all orders. Very systematic creation. Maintained by all the laws. All the laws. And with such a precision, my God. Things are moving with a certain precision. Their distance, seasons, whatnot. All given. Then who walks in? Creator. Ishvara brought. Ishvara is brought here now. But it is faith that there is a creator of such thing. It's a faith. And, because you cannot prove logically the existence of Ishvara. You cannot disprove it also. You cannot disprove it also. Therefore, there is a faith. That's how all religions are called faith. They all talk about God, Allah, whatever. They are all faith. Because they accept Ishvara in faith, not proven. Not logically proven. I have logically proven. Nayayikas prove that way. They say, what they say? Gatasya karta gatagnyah, sarvasya karta sarvagnyah. Means a pot is definitely a creation. Pot is a creation, and therefore it must have a creator. So it's fine. It is true. This is a creation. Because one or other person has seen that it has been created by a pot maker. What about this pot? Who has seen created this huge pot, universe? You should be there before universe comes into being to see how Ishvara, the pot maker, is creating. Therefore, to assume that this is a creation is a it's a belief. Could you follow what I'm saying? It's a belief. This is a creation. The question of creator comes when the Jagat is creation. If Jagat itself is not creation, scientists do not say is a creation. Because if they say creation, then you will bring Ishvara into that. They say it is all they manifest on its own. All of natural selection and this and that and evolution, etc. So anyway, my point is, so on part of Nayayika, it's a bold step to say, like pot, this is also a creation. And therefore, it has a creator. So this also has a creator. That is not fair. That's not fair. So Ishvara cannot be proven logically. Ishvara cannot be disproven also. What it can be proven logically can be disproven by logic. And therefore, Ishvara is believed to exist in your faith, in the faith of religion. That's how all religions are called faith. And further also is a faith. What? That Ishvara who has created this must be what? Omniscient, omnipotent. That is also faith. I am talking about other religions. Right? Now come to Veda. Veda says, well, Ishvara is not just creator. Ishvara is creation also. And now it's not question of belief. Because what the Jagat which you observe is not a belief. Is not a belief. It's not that it is belief. The Jagat is a belief. You are experiencing it. It's not a question of belief. And therefore, when it is said, the Jagat which you are experiencing, observing, which is reality, whatever reality, we are not worrying about. Whatever may be the reality of it. But it is not definitely not a belief. Like there is you believe that this creation has a creator, maker, somewhere sitting and doing it. It's not like that. This is you are observing. Am I right? So therefore, when you talk like this, that he is not just a creator but the creation also, then Ishvara is a matter of knowing rather than believing. Right? Definitely it's a matter of knowing. And then, well, if he is in the form of these orders, etc., this is creation, etc., and therefore Ishvara is a matter of understanding. That's it. And so, but I am different from the Ishvara, who is the maker and material of the entire creation. That continues. The moment you say that the one who observes this creation, and which is in the form of Ishvara, and the very observer, both basically have a one reality called consciousness. Means the Ishvara and this Jiva both have a same reality on analysis, which we call Mahavakya, etc. In that case, observer and observed, the Ishvara in the form of creation and the observer resolve. So then Ishvara disappears. Could you follow? Ishvara disappears. So these are two situations where in one situation Ishvara is there. In one situation Ishvara is not there. Am I making sense in this? So this is how we have to understand. So is an acceptance of Ishvara necessary, or can he be dismissed as simply a belief when one may or may not accept as a true? Yeah. And you can dismiss Ishvara with the grace of Ishvara. Correct. Yeah. To dismiss Ishvara, you need a grace of Ishvara. Better accept. Okay? Better accept. How can you say, I need a grace of Ishvara? How will you understand? How will you gain this knowledge? But you cannot become a agent of Ishvara and talk to us. I am not saying. Bhagavan said in 10th chapter, this knowledge, one gains knowledge of the self, etc., identical to me, is because of my grace. Very clear. Very clearly told in 10th chapter. So you can dismiss Ishvara with the grace of Ishvara. Definitely. Huge question. Can you please talk about Lord Dakshinamurti? Why the name, and who is the little adult looking child under his feet? What does the tree behind him represent? And who are the four saints sitting in front of him? Nice. As actually, it is a good question in as much as tomorrow we have Mula Mantra Japa also. It's avatara. It's a form of a Lord for imparting knowledge, like Krishna. Krishna is one of the function as a teacher, teaching Arjuna. Same way here. But Krishna has many other things to accomplish, so that is a different thing. But this is the form of Ishvara which is it is only meant for gaining a grace, for gaining self-knowledge, because that's a form which represents the knowledge. And generally, Dakshinamurti, this shrine, this particular idol you find in a Shiva temple, that shrine you find in a Shiva temple. But because we have this institution based on giving self-knowledge and other things, so we have a special temple of Lord Dakshinamurti, not a part of Shiva temple. So this is what it is. And if you see into this form, well, you find it is a complete form of Lord, maker and material both. Yeah. So we call it as a Ashtamurti as such. And Ashtamurti means all 8 factors are there. So all 5 elements are there. The body is a earth element. And there is a fire in hand, a flame, etc., open flame kind of thing. So representing Agni. And then there is a Gangaji, that represents Jalatattvam. And there is a Damaru, representing Akasha Tattvam. And there is a Bandhanam, because it seems Lord has a lot of hair. So it has been tied with a certain band, Bandhanam, that represents Vayu. How will you express Vayu Tattvam other than that? You cannot. You cannot put a fan behind and some kind of a flow. The form itself should have. How will you otherwise show Vayu Tattvam? So therefore, this is some band is there. The hair will not be scattered away in the air or something like that. So 5. 6th is a sun. Sun and moon, of course. Sun represents all luminaries, including all stars. Our sun also and all stars. It's a principle of time. Yeah, their movement only brings time, right? Days and everything. And the moon represents all satellites. All planets have a certain satellites also and all that. So sun and moon represent basically rest of the things also, and represent time also. Because Bhagavan is a Adhishthanam, basis of time. Today itself morning we discuss, in afternoon perhaps, that time also exists in consciousness, etc. And therefore that is there. Now what is left is the Jiva, right? One who observes this, the observer. This is observed. This is observed. Then what is left is observer. These are all that 4 Jivas. Sanat Kumara, Sanaka, Sanat Kumara, Sanandana, and Sanat Sujati, I think. All 4. Fortunately, I remembered names, I forgot. So all these 4 Jivas, they are also there in that form. So it's complete form. Observer and observer together, total. Entire observed thing is 5 elements and this sun, moon, time, and a race, space and other elements. And the observer also is there. Yeah. Then Bhagavan has earrings also. You might have heard all this, but anyway, let's discuss what is. So there is a small ring on the right side. It's a female ring. And on the left hand side, there is actually a sarpa. It's not a big earring. It's a snake, but it's a coiled snake like that. That represents a efficient cause, and the female aspect is a material cause, because Ishvara is both Material cause as well as efficient cause. Maker and material. We just discussed. So Ishvara is a maker and material represented by this. Then some more hands are there. And in that one hand, there is I think a rosary, bead rosary. So representing all other sadhanas, preparatory disciplines, religious disciplines to gain self-knowledge. And on the other hand, there is a book, Vedas, self-knowledge, etc. So basically these two things are also there. Then what is left? Yeah, apasmara, that one. That apasmara means an obstacle which makes you forget your wisdom, which would have helped in that situation. What is that obstacle? Emotional issues. All emotional issues, any emotion arises, this kind of, like anger, all our wisdom goes away. Even people tell us, I really wondered that you are studying Bhagavad Gita, going to Arsha Vidya and studying Bhagavad Gita. It doesn't look from your behavior. So any emotion arises, you forget your whatever you have learned in maybe even in years. People, and all these emotional issues basically have been represented by that. Generally, when Bhagavan takes a avatara, he kills this kind of obstacles. Bhagavan killed Kamsa, Rama killed Ravana, right? And Shishupala and etc. etc. And Krishna killed Kamsa, etc. Yeah. And Rama killed this Ravana, etc. Maybe other also. Anyway, but this is also avatara of Bhagavan. But Dakshinamurti doesn't kill this obstacle. It is alive. And it is alive. Any emotional issue can never go away. One should not say that, well, all these emotional different issues should go away totally from me. They arise at any time. Only thing is, you should have a mastery over it. That's it. That's how it is alive. And with a knife, means those emotional issues hurt you. Right? It hurts. Anger hurts. In fact, anger burns you first and then burns others later. Jealousy, anything, all. So, all these issues, so they are there. No, we should never have this kind of a conclusion. I am not going to get angry henceforth. I tell you. The anger will arise and you will get angry on your anger again. So that is another thing. So always they say, so if you want to have a resolve, this kind of resolve, keep a resolve for few hours or something. For that morning time I will not get angry. Today 4 hours I will not get angry. That you can manage with. So anyway, so it is there. And Bhagavan has basically put a control over that. So definitely, I also want to have emotional maturity for this knowledge. Or there are so many emotional issues. With the grace of Ishvara, well, I also will have a control over it. So that is what is meant by that. It is alive, called apasmara. Smara means you understand. Something which reminds you. Smrudhatu. Smaranam. Smruti. Apasmara, which makes you forget. So this is an obstacle which makes you forget. Okay, still a lot of things are there in that Dakshinamurti. Okay, then Nandi. Nandi stands for a tamas. Yeah, Pashu. Ishvara is a Pashupati. Yeah. Because that is Vahanam for Ishvara. So he is a Pashupati. And this is a Pashu. Pashu stands for tamas. Actually, Ishvara is a one. The definition of Ishvara is one who wields sattva, rajas, tamas, both, all three. One who wields Maya. So one who wields all the three. But basically, sattva helps me very much. Rajoguna also can help me very much because karma yoga, etc., or all of the religious disciplines need a Rajoguna. Sattva, with the help of Sattva-guna, I gain knowledge. But karma also is a sadhanam for gaining preparation. So I need a Rajoguna also. But this Tamoguna should go. Therefore, I can pray to Ishvara because he is a Pashupati. He wields this Tamoguna. And therefore, you can, with his prayer, with the prayer to Ishvara, you gain a grace over Tamoguna which is present in you. Because of that only you will not even engage yourself into this karma yoga, etc. Or you will not engage yourself into self-knowledge. Sattva and Rajas both will be. Tamoguna is something, really speaking, Tamoguna is one which covers other two. That's how you get a sleep. During a day, either your mind and sense organs are functional. I mean, they are very active. Or your organs of action are very active. And they get tired. Then how will you get rest? Tamoguna overpowers. By which all this sattva and rajas both are, they are overpowered. Means then all this jnanendriyas, karmendriyani, etc. and the mind, etc. resolve. And you get a sleep. So again, next day will be ready. Again ready. with after getting rest. So it's very good. Tamoguna is really a very good thing. Because of that only you gain a sleep. Some people are not able to gain sleep because their mind is too much active. Rajoguna maybe. So that creates a problem. And further, name Dakshinamurti. Any other thing is left other than name? Tree. Tree is a samsara. Urdamula adashakha esha ashvattha sanatanaha Kathopanishad. And our 15th chapter also. Urdamulam adashakha, etc. etc. So, basically, samsara, this tree is a samsara. And Bhagavan is sitting at the root. So Bhagavan is the cause of the entire creation. That is what it represents. He is sitting at the root. Root is the cause for the whole thing, sustains whole thing. So Bhagavan is the cause of the entire thing. He sustains the creation, etc. So that is what it is. And then name, Dakshinamurti. And Dakshina Abhimukha Murti is called Dakshinamurti. The form which faces is south direction is Dakshinamurti. They say like that, the north represent moksha, timelessness, limitlessness. And south is opposite to that, samsara, time-bound thing, death, etc. This is moksha, this is death, like that. So Ishvara is facing the south. Means Ishvara is facing the death. One who can face the death, who has won over the death. Who has not won over the death, definitely runs away from the death. Bhagavan faces death. Yeah. And therefore, and you face Ishvara. So you face north. So seeing Ishvara, will you gain ultimately. I mean, knowing Ishvara, ultimately you gain moksha. And I told you this form represents knowledge. That is by Chinmudra. Chinmudra, one of the hands. Chinmudra this is Ahankara. Any person we indicate with this index finger. I mean, the Tarjani, Tarjani. Like that, Ahankara. And this is our Brahman. Okay, now I can say our Brahman. This is a support for all, actually. Generally, Ahankara, the I sense is there with other three. With the body, with the mind, and senses, etc. So, Ahankara is always with this. I am body, I am mind, I am senses. Once you gain knowledge, so ahankara surrenders to what? The very basis of everything. This is the basis. That's how Ekalavya was taken away. He could not do anything. One of the finger is not there, still you can function. But if this goes away, then it is very much difficulty to function. This will be useless then. So this is the basis of everything. Basis of ahankara as well as basis of everything. Truth of everything. And that ahankara is separated. How? Druk, drishya viveka. I am not body, I am not this, I am not that is object of knowledge. That's what we discussed 2 days. And ahankara surrenders to. Surrendering means not some kind of a, because Brahman is all pervading. In which direction you do that? Surrender is in form of a knowledge. There is no other surrender. In form of knowledge that I am not ahankara. That's it. I am Brahman. So I am whole. Whole. Not HOLE. WHOLE. Yeah, I am whole. So when ahankara surrenders, then it realizes that I am whole. So this is called Chin Mudra. The mudra is a gesture for knowledge, self-knowledge, or identity between you and Ishvara. That way. So Dakshina Abhimukha Murtihi, Dakshina Murti. There is another meaning also. Dakshinaschasav Murtischa Dakshina Murtihi. That's also there. Dakshinaha means Dakshaha. Dakshaha means who is very skillful. The whole Ishvara, basically himself manifest in the form of this creation, and he sustains the creation, and whole creation resolves into that whole play he is doing. To do that play, he is very clever. Daksha. Amurti, basically. Amurti means which is formless. All the forms have a basis in Ishvara. Ishvara himself is formless. When you are formless only, you can take any form. If you have already certain form, you cannot assume another form. So to assume all the names and forms, that is Jagat, you should be formless. So Amurti. Murti means a form. Amurti means which is formless. It is limitless. So these are the two meanings. So Dakshinamurti. So already 8:30. Still some questions.
Happened for Dakshinamurti's avatar.
Yeah, the avatar appeared for these 4 jivas, for rishis, to give them a knowledge in the beginning of creation. Yeah, because Bhagavan has to teach both the dharma, pravritti, lakshana dharma and nivritti. Both are important. Some people feel nivritti is important. Some people say no, pravritti is important in order to achieve the goal. Both are important. Arurukshor munair yogam karma karanam uchyate. Yoga rudasya tassaiva shama karanam uchyate. Bhagavan said in 6th chapter, both are important. Arurukshor munair yogam. One who wants to mount on this spiritual path, going towards moksha, etc. Well, karma karanam uchyate. Karma is a cause. Karma yoga is a cause for that. And once you are prepared, then shamaha, nivritti. Yoga rudasya. Once you are already aruda, once you are mounted on this yoga, karma yoga, means you are now yogi, you have prepared yourself, then shamaha, giving up the karmas, etc. Means giving up karma means not sannyasa as such, but committing to the knowledge. Because now you are prepared. You have jignasa also to know. So, make yourself available for teaching. So, pravritti, nivritti, both are important, basically. That is, Bhagavan wanted to teach both the types of dharmas to a group of people. To some people, he wanted to teach this pravritti lakshana dharma. So, he definitely called those prajapatis who are engaged in the creating everything. Rajaguna pradhana. And to him, he taught pravritti lakshana dharma. And to Sanat Kumara, etc., who are viraktas, Nirveda Mayat. So for them, he gave this jnanam. So in the beginning of creation, and that is the time when Bhagavan took a form of this Dakshinamurti. Beginning of creation, I mean.
Beginning of creation, Brahmaji actually had the 4 Sanata Kumaras, right?
Yeah.
And at that time, Dakshinamurti came and taught them.
Exactly.
And then they went and sat in their
Well,
4 corners.
they went to the
And so he had to create Prajapatis.
Prajapatis.
Okay.
So this is there in our Bhagavad Gita Upodghat Bhashyam. In Upodghat Bhashyam, Shankaracharya ji described all these
And
things.
also in Bhagavatam.
Oh, that is on, I have not known, but
sorry.
yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.